Hi, this is Davin with Hagerty in our DIY series. So I've always run into this issue with how do I coat the head of a bolt? So something I've located is some exhaust manifold dressing. It works fantastic on exhaust manifolds, and I got thinking that that coating's actually pretty solid and tight. It doesn't seem to chip at all when I mess around with the exhaust manifolds. Geez, what would it do on bolts? So the scary part is when you first spray it on, it's gold. And it's like, oh boy, I was looking for something darker than gold. So, but once you heat this, so it hits 600 degrees, it turns to really a cast iron color, obviously, since it's for exhaust manifolds, color-wise. But if you can live with this darker gray color, it's not black, but it's got kind of a cool look to it. So, and I've also found that it seems to be pretty chip resistant relative to putting a wrench on it. So that's what I'm gonna do with these parts. As you can see, these are pretty rusty and nasty, but the main function of the bolt is in good tack, the threads wise, so I can reuse these. It's just the head that's ugly. I'm going to sandblast them, spray some of this on there. It's going to turn gold and look funny, and then we're going to heat them with the inductive heater, and it's going to turn to this nice gray color, and it's going to look all right on the engine. All right, so with all that said, let's head on over to the sandblaster and get these parts cleaned up. All right, so at this point, these are nice and clean. Now I'm gonna take and just put them on a piece of cardboard, hold them up. Give me a spot to paint them on. Hoping that would stay there. And like painting any surface, now the sandblaster, of course, took all the grease and the paint and all that type of stuff, anything that's oily off. But of course you have a little dust on there. So like any painted surface, you want it free of oil and free of dust. Now at this point, I'm just going to use some air, a little compressed air to blow any dust off them. All right, so now here's a little slow-mo action for you. Like any paint, you got to give it some time to dry, 70 degrees, and probably 15-20 minutes. It cures pretty quickly, and then we'll take and use our inductive heater to turn it to that dark gray color. But in the meantime, I need to organize some tools and have a cup of coffee. Literally. Okay, the paint's dry to the touch, so we're ready to heat them up and turn them to that dark gray color. All right, so you can see I'm doing this on cardboard. It's gonna smoke probably a little bit. As long as it doesn't get carried away, we won't have any issues. And we're just gonna heat these up real nice and slowly, kind of move that up and down. And wham, look at that, look how it changes real quick like that. That's cool. Okay, I went through, did all the bolts, they all look nice. They're all pretty even. And I didn't change the metallurgy. I know there's somebody out there thinking, oh man, you're heating those bolts up and they're no good anymore. I didn't get them any warmer than what they'll be on the engine, so pretty sure I didn't change the metallurgy at that point. One thing to note, again, I am on cardboard. It did not burst into flames. It did get a little smoke when I was doing about 8 of them at a time. And it was just basically where the bolt is real close, it's hot, and it just kind of singed the cardboard just a little bit. So I had a little bit of smoke coming up through here. I'm in a well-ventilated area, and I have a bucket of water right behind the camera guy. So if this got so hot, it was going in there and problem solved. So that's one way to coat some bolt heads that's not going to chip when you install them. They should take the temperature. The paint will take the temperature that's going to see on the engine, and they're going to look good for quite some time.